Welcome, fellow travelers. My name is Ryve Genesis, and I'm joining Chibi and Vertek at the Golden Feather. Come on in, grab a seat, and let's share tales of adventure.
The most important topic we're going to talk about today, though, is you,
Yes.
friend, Ryve, Mr. Genesis, Maximus. What have
That's
you to
right.
say about yourself? Who is you? Just in case for some reason somebody has buried their head under a rock, what do you do?
Ryve Genesis. Some people say Ryve, some say Reeve. It's all sorts of different things. I do things on the YouTubes mostly. I have sponsors, lots of sponsors, different sponsor every week, it seems like. Every video at least.
The best sponsors.
Best sponsors. People really like the sponsors. I think they like the sponsor part better than the rest of the video, but we'll work on the rest of the video parts to get that better.
Actually, one of our subscribers was wondering which of your profound sponsors is your favorite.
Well, I think everybody would want me to say Cox, but but honestly, I would probably go with Dirt, because the Dirt one, I really took that kind of I took that a lot of different places and somehow ended up on Aliens, and had Steven featured in there, and somehow made the case that aliens come here for the poop that's in our dirt. And people, I thought it was my best one of all of them.
I like that. That's funny.
I've had some that were a little bit weaker, like the horn one last week, but the dirt one. Also, my dogs were in the horn one. Yeah, no, or not the horn one, in the dirt one. The dirt one was all over the place. I went from like digging up dirt in my backyard to somehow getting on Aliens, and Mars, I think, was featured in there. There was a lot. It was a lot. It went all over the place.
Dirt from Mars.
Yeah. So,
Boy.
but that was good. Yeah. Other than YouTube, I stream on Twitch. Ryve Genesis, however you want to say it, on Twitch, and I've been doing a little podcast of my own on Saturdays called Revelations, and yeah, and so that's been, I don't know, we're on like episode 9 if I do it tomorrow, which I think I'll probably do it tomorrow. Well, yeah, I should be able to do it tomorrow. So
I mean, if you're giving us capability to just call you whatever we want, I'm gonna start calling you Riven Darthesis.
Dude, I'm gonna call myself that too then. I like that.
We have Riven Darthesis and Xylophone.
Nice.
That works. Yep.
I can dig it.
Because of Zillid and the Xylophone, and
yeah,
he's the content creators in our community is just
are amazing. I love all these people. I can't tell you how much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good crew for sure.
Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to as we move closest to Alpha 2?
I am stoked about the Wars stream. The AMA was great, but the Wars, I'm a PvP fan, so Wars, I mean, the Caravan PvP was good, but Wars, because we haven't heard anything about how that works.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see that. Here's how many people they're going to have, I assume just PI. So, and I don't know, they might just be demonstrating the mechanics, and maybe it's not a lot of PvP, but even if it's just that, I'm excited to see that, just because it's something completely new we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we have had some pretty big stuff drop today for the AMA alone. So that's exciting.
And as per the usual, I was doing a lot of working, so I am super excited to hear your viewpoints on this stuff. And this is going to be my live react, is what this is going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be my live react to the reaction of the AMA from earlier.
Right.
I like it. I will warrior node declares war on the Golden Feather. It's a fupo. I'm sorry. I have it in my principle to not attack cute black cats, because as much as people think black cats are bad luck, I think they're good luck, and you shouldn't attack them. You should instead protect them. So, you know what? You can call war on my pantry. That's fine. Only the best for the poopo.
Poor pantry wars.
So somebody on the forums was wondering, around on me from the tavern, exactly. Somebody from the forums was wondering, what are your biome preferences as we get closer to Alpha? Do you have a preference on like what you hope to be in?
That's a really good question. Obviously the Riverland, since I'm there right now, but I don't know. Like, I would prefer, like, there's a part of me that, you know, is the aesthetic appeal, and then there's the min maxer in me as well that comes out too.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to min max. You know, we don't know anything yet, but I'd like to be in a location where you're relatively close to multiple other biomes, which the
Yeah.
Riverlands is.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of close to the desert, and then I mean it's kind of centered on the continent, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But I'd also like to be close to the ocean, because I think I want to participate in that, you know, as much as possible. So being close to that. But I love the mountains. So that's the, you know, the dilemma for me. I love mountains. So but living in mountains I think sucks. So I don't, and I think it sucks in games too, because, you know, to go 2 miles geographically, you got to go like 7 miles via switchbacks, you know, to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
And, you know, in games do it a little different, but I like to visit mountains. I don't know if I want to live in them, but I'd like to be able to see them. So I want to be in a place where I can see mountains. I'm close to the ocean, but I'm in kind of a flat area.
Okay.
Like, and I think that's where, you know, I think there was a survey done at one point where people, or some sort of study where they came up with that most people like living in the plains.
Yeah.
So
There's definitely like a lot of people did not want to live in the desert, which is interesting because we had the Sand Squall Desert showcase for us, you know. I thought that was like, yeah, interesting. And then
having lived 2 years in a desert for being in the military, yeah, I don't want to live in the desert too bad. Although we'll see if the Sand Squall looked pretty good. So
yeah, it did. We had a whole other thing planned, and then the AMA was so interesting that I decided to scrap the entire plan for today. And we are going to just kind of go over AMA stuff. But before we do, for those who don't know you, what type of content do you make, or do you intend to make specifically for Ashes as we move into Alpha 2?
right now, mostly speculative stuff, although I do the informative stuff too, although I just did it in one giant video instead of breaking it apart. But historically, I did a lot of informative stuff, but I've done a ton of speculative stuff. But obviously, as we get into Alpha 2, I won't be doing speculative stuff nearly as often. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do in Alpha 2 in terms of content. But I you know, I like PvP and I like economy. That's probably my two favorite areas of MMOs. So it'll probably be something to do with that, you know, PvP and economy. I don't, maybe guides, but you know, I don't know if I'll go super heavy into guides, but I might do a little bit of that kind of stuff, but more just probably a lot of like let's play stuff too. Like this is us and this is my guild in Carfin, and this is our guild doing this and doing that, because that stuff's fairly simple.
We found out some interesting stuff about Carfin I'm excited to delve into.
Yeah.